hang in there with us. I don't see a quorum here. I see Councilmember Wilsey. The topic of conversation in the special code meeting is about our agreement with Mountain Park. As you all know, that agreement expires on March 1st, which is a week away. And we obviously, I forwarded to you all the correspondence I received from Mayor Still. And then I believe I also forwarded you some information that I received from our chiefs. So I want you all to have a full breadth of knowledge on this topic. And what I'd like to suggest, but it's entirely up to you all, is that we extend this contract for 60 days. And what I want to be able to do is be in the position where we can attempt to enter into an agreement with Mountain Park regarding their public safety services. And the cost of that over the next 2 months is entirely up to you all. If you would like to go in at the per capita rate for the next 2 months, or if you would like to go in with what Mountain Park has been paying for the last 2 months. But I would suggest that we do this just in order to get everything squared away, and also to be able to give Mountain Park adequate notice on what our intentions are. So my intention is not to push this out for 60 days, but to extend the contract or the MOU for 60 days, but that we all need to determine and give Mountain Park an indication on where we stand on the MOU. I will also say that I sent out basically a straw poll to see where everybody stood, and there seems to be a fairly wide range on opinions on this matter. So this won't be our last discussion on this, but I would like this to be an initial discussion so that we can give Mountain Park an indication on where this council stands as far as the MOU. So we've got both chiefs available to have a conversation with us if need be. And of course, I'm here to answer questions. We've got legal here to answer questions. So any information that you all need right now, we can provide that, but I would like to get some feedback from you. Councilmember Zapata.
Thank you, Mayor. So if I have a good recollection, we already discussed on public, this mayor and council, about the position of continue subsidizing another city service. So I think that I understood from previous public meetings that this mayor and council has a clear understanding and direction regarding a new MOU with the city of Mountain Park, that we cannot continue subsidizing their public safety service at the expense of our Roswell taxpayers, residents, and the people of Roswell. So, so I think that, Mayor, you have conversation with them several times. You give them the heads up. You give them already, the intention of this mayor and council. So I would like to understand better then what is the reason to extend this for 60 days to come with a new fair MOU for the people of Roswell. So I would like to know what is the reason for that before deciding supporting or not this 60-day extended contract.
Well, Councilmember Zapata, I would like to point out in my straw poll that I did not hear back from you. You were the only council member that did not correspond with my office. But then I would also like to say that no, there was not a clear direction. That's why we are sitting here this morning. If you all decide today that you want that contract to expire March 1st, that's it. Like I said, I was just proposing 60 days so that this council would get on the same page. I'm not sure if we can do that today, but it's entirely up to your pleasure. Councilmember Zapata.
Thank you, Mayor. It's not relevant if I email you or not, because we are having a public official mayor and council meeting and discussion here. So that is when I want to, hear and give it for the record the reason.
Thank you, Councilmember Zapata. And I think communication is very relevant. It's very difficult to get work done in City Hall when we cannot communicate with each other. Yes, I agree. We are in a public meeting. We've had previous public meetings on this topic, and we will continue to have maybe public meetings on the topic. So, but however, communication is very important. When we talk about communicating with the residents, we talk about communicating with our citizens, we talk about communication all day long. If you and I can't communicate, we've got a problem. So we are in a public meeting, and I would like to hear from council on what their pleasure is with, if they would like to decide today, if we let the contract expire, if you would like to extend the contract for further discussion. But we've got time today if you want to discuss it today. We've got staff standing by that are ready to talk about it, and any information you need, we can provide to you all. Councilmember Zapata.
Thank you, Mayor. So, like I said before, we discussed this in a public arena before, and the intention of this mayor and council, I believe, was clear. At least
it was not. That's why we're sitting here today, Councilmember Zapata. It was not clear.
I think was.
And we received a proposal by Mayor Still, and that's what I was asking you all to respond to. So if you are not willing to entertain his proposal, like I said, that's entirely up to this council.
So, okay, I will continue. Thank you. So I was saying that we did discuss, and the intention of, I understood the mayor and council not subsidize other cities with public service or any other service, and go by the same metric that we do in Roswell by resident, how much we have to pay by resident on public safety. I understood from the last meeting that that was the consensus from this mayor and council. If I'm misunderstood, then I understand that too. But I think that was clear a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, or whenever we discussed this in the past in public. So I just want to understand better, what is the reason today, fast forward today, what is the reason to extend for 60 days? What is the reason of that? Just that.
The reason of that is because Jim Still sent a proposal, and I asked council to opine on that proposal. And there was a wide range of whether or not we wanted to entertain that proposal. That's why we're here today. Councilmember Judy.
Thank you, Mayor. So since I knew this meeting was coming up, I've done a lot of homework with legal, our chiefs, and staff, tried to figure out what the ramifications of canceling this on March 1st would be. I believe there are possible ramifications to the citizens of Roswell should we cancel this and not come to understand all of those. And I have also taken note of the chiefs that they believe this should be on a per capita basis from a public safety point of view. I am in right now, depending on this conversation, in favor of possibly extending this. I would like it at per capita for the next 2 months, but so we can come to an agreement. That way we know that Mountain Park will be paying their fair share during that period of time while we work on this and make sure it makes sense for the citizens of Roswell. in all aspects, legally, legislatively, and public safety wise. So that's kind of where I stand right now. If we're going to extend this, unless somebody has a better argument, I think it should be at per capita for 60 days to try to work something out that makes sense. If not, then I really would like to hear some more opinion on this. But there's a lot. This is a very complicated situation. I did receive some information from a Mountain Park citizen today that was interesting and basically was not for us renewing this contract with Mountain Park. So I'm not. This is a very complicated situation and on many fronts. And I think that I don't know if Mr. Halsey wants to weigh in or anybody else in regards to the ramifications of us not renewing this on, or possible ramifications not renewing this on March 1st.
Mr. Halsey.
To Councilmember Judy's point, legal is aware that Mountain Park has threatened legislative action that would include dissolving Mountain Park and drawing it into the city of Roswell. The legislature has that power. The Supreme Court of the United States made that clear in 1907 that a state can do that. And in Georgia, that was reaffirmed by the Georgia Supreme Court in 2017 in a City of Atlanta case, that the legislature exercises supreme annexation and municipal corporation powers, and they have the power to annex and incorporate without our say. So just so you know, that's the context of what we're talking about, is, to my understanding, exhaust all reasonable possibilities with the city of Mountain Park before terminating the contract. And that would be the reason for the 60-day extension. It's more the legislative threat of them just dissolving Mountain Park and then thrusting them into the city, which would create a number of problems. Mountain Park's infrastructure does not comply with the city of Roswell's code in any way, form, or fashion. You would have immediate problems. You may have to create a special tax district to bring them up to our standards. You would have grandfather problems, but I'm pretty sure their setbacks, their stormwater, I know the roads are not up to code. I mean, it goes far beyond just providing fire service and police service. So there are myriad issues here, and when you've got the legislature breathing down your neck, it creates other things for you all to consider. So I just wanted to make you aware that's the legal context that sort of boxes you in on this.
Additional comments, questions? Councilmember Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to say that I would concur with Councilmember Judy that I'd be in favor of a 60-day extension, but at the per capita rates that have been established.
And let me interject that per capita rate is $374 per person. That's what our citizens pay.
Yes.
Councilmember Zapata.
Thank you, Mayor Henry. Mr. Halsey, thank you so much for a clear and straightforward explanation of where we are now, right now, what kind of corner the people of Roswell is by the state legislator or legislators. I don't know who are these legislators who are putting the people of Roswell on a corner for this logical, practical, fair, financially fair decision for the people of Roswell taxpayer. and residents. So I totally understand the explanation from Mr. Halsey. I appreciate it. And I'm so sorry that we are in this corner because the legislators are threatening the city of Roswell. It's hard to see that, I mean, really, but you know, given this unfortunate context, I will support the idea or suggestion from Councilmember Judy about extending for 60 days, but paying the fair share like everybody else in the city of Roswell, which should make sense to any legislator from our district. And I hope that that is the case, that the state legislators from our district protect the best interests of the people of Roswell on the district. So so I'm willing to support that, but knowing the real reason and very disappointed why the people of Roswell got in this corner right now. Thank you.
Additional comments from council? Well, once again, I'm counting, which is a requirement of my job. But no, in all seriousness, I've got, it looks like Councilmember Tizer and Councilmember Wilsey have not weighed in. I would appreciate your input, and then I'll ask for a motion. Councilmember Tizer.
Thank you. I'm fine with Councilman Judy's motion or suggestion.
Thank you. Councilmember Wilsey?
Yes, I agree. I am as well. I think that it's a very complicated situation with some very far-reaching implications for the city of Roswell. And I think that if we can continue the discussions that for 60 days, that seems to be, you know, the option that's before us. And I think that it's one that we should consider very carefully.
Thank you. So I will also express my opinion. I think that it's only fair that Mountain Park pay the per capita $374 per person that our Roswell residents do. I have done a great deal of research. Our legal department has, both of our chiefs, our interim chief and our chief have, and the norm, the standard practice when this occurs, when one municipality or county is providing service to another municipality, or it's always done on a per capita basis. So I think that that's only fair. I think that we should move forward with that. And then also, we're not going to wait 2 months. So I'm just going to keep bringing this back in. Again, I will provide you all with as much information as I can that I have at my fingertips, so that you can review it, you can ask questions of the chiefs, and we can move forward with this. So do I have a motion? Councilmember Judy.
Motion to extend services to Mountain Park at per capita rate given as the citizens of Roswell pay for the coming 2 months or 60 days. And during the time we will work on this.
And might I suggest that we just go by the calendar months just for simplicity?
Sure.
Which would be 2 months through and including April 30th of 2021.
Perfect.
March and April.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wilsey. All those in favor, please raise your hands. And it passes unanimously. Thank you all so much. Like I said, this conversation will continue, and I'm sure that we will be hearing from Mountain Park and its citizens going forward. So I would encourage you all to be cautious and not negotiate on behalf of the city as you're talking to folks. It should come through the proper channels. So thank you all for your support. I know the citizens thank you, and you have a great day. We are adjourned.